All right, so good evening, everybody. This is our first class of this week, and it's on Saturday. In our previous classes, we were talking about switching, VLANs, STP, VTP. These were the protocols which I have taught you in CCNA. So as we have the course CCNA, there are other protocols which you're going to learn in CCNP if you wanted to take CCNP and then go with CCIE also. Then you will have some higher and advanced things related to switching and routing with the security also. But in CCNA, these are the things that you have to learn, and they are very much important as a basic engineer of networking. You should learn, and you have to practice on it and get updated with these all the protocols which I have taught you based on routing and also based on switching, right? Now, today, as we are done with the general protocols for the configuration of switching and routing, and now we are moving to security. Now, it's very much important that you need to implement or configure security in routers and switches, right? Somehow VLANs are going to provide you the security, but there are the security things. There are protocols with the help of which we can implement the security from our local area network to wide area network. Okay, so the first protocol that we're going to learn is ACL, access control lists. All right, so first of all, we'll go through introduction, and then I will tell you the classification of access control lists. Okay, so control F or control 5. So access control, what are access control lists? So access control lists, or you can say in short, ACLs are very powerful security features of Cisco IOS. So by using access control lists, what we can do, we can deny unwanted access to the network while allowing internal users appropriate access to necessary services. What do you mean by that? The meaning of access lists is, I am going to draw a very simple topology here with the help of my pen. I'm sorry because every time I'm not able to make the topology accurate because of this pen, but I hope you are having no issues with it. You are able to understand it, right? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, we have a router here. Okay. Let's say we have a server also here. And server name is S1. This is router, it's R1. And we have the VLAN, or you can say a VLAN, which is management VLAN. I can say only one computer of that VLAN. Or you can say this is management and these are users in this VLAN. All right. So this is server 1. This is a cable. This is the port 1, port 2, and port 3. Let's say that server 1 holds some important documents that need to be available only to the company's management. This is management VLAN, or you can say management department. Okay. So let's say server, this is a server computer which is going to store, or which has already stored some important document, or you can say confidential documents or storage is available, and you want to make it available to only management. All right. You want it to be available to the management also. So we could configure access list on R1. We can configure on router R1. We can configure access list on R1 to enable access to S1. enable access to S1 only to users from management. So the users who are in the management department or management VLAN, or you can say subnet, or this is the department, we can allow them to access S1 only from the management network, but all other traffic going to S1 will be blocked. So whatever the traffic you have from other users, suppose that it's from the HR department. So we don't want the access of these users which are in the IT department to access this S1, okay? So it will be blocked. So this way we can ensure that only authorized user can access the sensitive files on S1. Suppose that in a company, we used to have separate storage servers for each department. Are you understanding?
Yes.
We have now, we can say that we have another server which is S2 here, and it's for HR department. So in that case, we have to give access to S1. We have to give access to S1 for management. All right, and we have to give access to S2 to users, but users or this HR department should not be able to access S1, and this management department should not be able to access S2. So on R1, what we are going to do, we are going to configure it. We are going to allow management VLAN or management department or management subnet to access S1 while just block S2. At the same time, we are going to allow users, or you can say HR department, to access S2 while just block the access to S1. That's a kind of security in routing. Are you understanding?
Yes.
That's the main concept of ACLs, access control lists. Clear? Now, moving ahead with more things. Wait a sec. So we're not done with the definition yet. I'm going to write more. So what we can do now by using access listers, or we can, in short, I'm going to write ACL, we can deny, as I've told you, deny unwanted access to the network while allowing internal users to access the important or confidential services or confidential important services. That's the main cause of access or access lists, okay? So access control lists are set of commands. So set of, they are ACLs or set of commands grouped together by a name or number. Grouped together, you can say number by a name or number. These are the two ways that are used to filter traffic entering or leaving an interface. So what is interface? A port number. So on port number, we can configure ACLs, the traffic which will be allowed and the traffic which will be blocked. So there's a set of commands that we have to implement on an interface so that we can control and we can allow, or just we can say we can manage or monitor the control and block the ports where we don't want this particular user or this particular department should be able to access this particular interface. That's what is the main important thing of ACLs. So ACLs define which traffic is permitted and which traffic is denied. So we just talk about permit and deny here. These are the two things which we mainly are going to focus on. So as I have already told you that ACLs is a group of statements that define whether packets are accepted or rejected, coming into an interface or leaving an interface. You need to remember this thing, that on an interface, the traffic is coming in two ways, either coming or going. Are you understanding? So this thing you need to understand. So if this interface is towards our S1, the traffic S1 will send the traffic, and also it will receive the traffic. So, and sending and receiving. Now, when you will understand this concept, now if you want this management VLAN should be able to access it, so you have to access. That means this is sending the traffic, they have to receive the traffic also. This concept I will make you understand later on. Okay, so ACL statements operate in sequential logical order. If a condition match is true, the packet is permitted or denied, and the rest of the access control list statements are not checked. So if all the access control statements are unmatched, an implicit deny any statement is placed at the end of the list by default. So access list statements operate in sequential logic order, and they evaluate packets from the top down manner. So once there is an access list statement match, the packets skip the rest of the statements. So if a condition is true, the packet is permitted or denied. So whether we have given a condition like deny this, so if it's true, then it's going to deny it. If it's false, it's going to permit it. So you should remember that there is an implicit deny any at the end of every access control ACL. So deny any is whenever you add a command like IP address this, deny it. So by default, there is one deny it already. So mostly we do not use deny, we use permit, or because at the end of every statement we are using deny any. Rest of you're permitting this particular network and deny all the other networks. All right. So you will understand it in future, topics in this class. So then the classification. What are the types of ACLs? So classification of ACLs. We have numbered and named ACLs. What's it? A numbered ACL is assigned a unique number among all access control lists, but a name access control list is identified by a name, or you can say a unique name. So numbered, we are basically using a number. You should understand it by this way. We are using a number here. And for a name, we are defining an ACL with a name. So it should be a unique name, simply. Next thing is standard and extended. These are very important ones. Standard and extended. Access lists. So what's standard? Standard IP access control lists can be used to filter traffic only based on source IP address. So they are used to filter or to block or to permit. They're used to filter. Remember this thing. So they are used to filter traffic only based on source, based on the source IP address of the IP packet. And extended access control lists can be used to filter the traffic based on both. If you talk about extended, we are using this extended to filter traffic, traffic based on source IP address and destination address also. What is the IP address? Destination IP address. And we can also use protocol, which protocol we want, whether it's TCP and UDP. Or We can even use port numbers to filter the traffic. But in extended, we are only using source IP address to filter the traffic, okay? So if you have to use the numbers in IP standard, you can get it with the command prompt also. So IP standard, we can have 1 to 99. These are the numbers, and 13002.999. And in extended, IP extended, ACLs extended, we can have 100 to 199, comma 2000 to 2699. These are the numbers. So this is, what do you mean by it? This is basically going to help you to create standard IP access list. And if you wanted to create standard IP access list, the number that you're going to use is from these particular numbers, this particular range. If you wanted to create IP extended list from 100 to 199 or 2000 to 2669 or 2699, you're going to use these particular numbers, or you can say range. Wait a sec. Let me go through my own. Types of ACL standard. Now let's explain more about standard ACL list. I'm going to take the same example again. I will have the management subnet here. I will have the router here. I will have the S1 server here. Okay, are you here with me?
Yes.
This is management. Next part is for the configuration. And this is, for example, HR. Okay. So what are standard access lists? As I've told you, we are using source IP addresses to filter the traffic. Now, in this one, this is server S1, and this is management subnet, and this is HR subnet. And now let's say that server S1 holds some important documents that need to be available only to companies management, as I've told you. So in this way, we could configure an access list on R1, router R1, to enable access to S1 only to the users from the management network. All the other network will be blocked. This network will be blocked. So we can assure that only authorized, or you can say authorized users can access sensitive files on S1. That's just based on source IP address. So this is, for example, we have the network 10.192.168.10.0. So we will just permit it, and this is automatically going to be denied. So if you talk about extended, with extended access lists, you can be more precise in your filtering. You can evaluate source and destination IP addresses. It's a type of layer 3 protocol. Source and destination ports as extra can be used. And extended access lists are more complex to configure and consume more CPU time than the standard access list, but they allow a much more granular level of control. But the security that you're going to get from extended access lists will be more than the security that you can implement using the standard ones. Okay.
Okay.
So to demonstrate this particular example, what we can do now, Wait a sec. So that here you got the experience. This is called as based on the source IP address, we can go through this particular topology. Now another topology which I'm going to draw with the help of which you can understand extended one. So suppose that now we have two servers, S1 and S2 connected to router R1. And these are, for example, our users of HR department. Okay. In this example, we have used, suppose that we have used standard access list to prevent all the users to access server 1, to prevent. So they are not able to access server 1, okay? But with that configuration, we have also disabled, or we have also disabled access to S2. To be more specific, you know what is the basic difference now when you, because we don't want this in this particular topology, we do not want this access to be accessed by, or to we do not want this server to be accessed by these HR department users. So we are writing only one command based on source IP address, which is 10.0, and by default it will be blocked. As I've told you in access lists, by default when you allow this, you are permitting this management, and by default all the other networks will be denied. All right, this is the problem. By default, even if there is someone else also, some other network like IT department, it will not be, so both will be denied. That's what access list is. Sorry, the standard access list is. Are you understanding?
Yes.
So that's the problem with the standard access list. But in this one, as I've told you, so when you wanted to prevent all the users to access S1, but with that configuration, what you're doing, you are basically disabling access to S2 also. So to be more specific, we can use extended access lists. What we can say, let's say that we need to prevent users from accessing only S1. So what should we do? We can place an extended list on R1. We can place an extended list on R1. Let's say that we want to prevent users from accessing S1. So we could place an extended list on R1 to prevent users only from accessing S1. Okay. So we could use an access list to filter the traffic according to the destination IP address, not with the source IP address at that time. So that's source IP address. Now we are going to filter the traffic based on destination IP address. So that way, no other traffic is forbidden and users can still access the other server, which is S2. When you use based on the source MAC address, so simply you need to understand that standard access lists are accessing or filtering the traffic based on source IP address. All right. So we are writing the command here simply IPX standard network 192. Suppose that the network is this 168.10.0 permit. And when you use permit, that means only that network will be permitted. Rest will be denied. So if there is any other network, as I've told you, but in here in extended, we can place that based on destination. Now we have both either source or destination. We can say that just deny this and it will permit this one. Based on source IP, destination MAC address, we will just give the command IP extended list, deny S1, but it will permit S2, server S2. That's the basic difference in between. So it will just deny this and permit this. Now let's go and configure the standard access lists. You will now better understand it. Wait a sec. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now configuration. ACLs. So to create a standard or standard access list on a Cisco router, we can use the command. So in the global access mode, for example, we have router R1, so we have to go to global configuration. So it's going to be like this. Over there, we have to use access. The command is access list. Okay. ACL number should be here, as I've told you. If you use the help option, it's gonna always tell you then either permit or if you want to deny that. Both are the options available for you, permit or deny. Then IP address. The IP address that you want to deny, IP address with wildcard mask. With wildcard mask. Okay. As I've told you, ACL for the standard ACLs. So ACLs, the number are from 1 to 99, or you can say 13002. Oh, okay. Hello, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, so I thought I ended the meeting. So 13002 1999. These are the numbers that we have to use in access list, or you can say standard access lists. All right. So you can also, or we can also use the host keyword to specify the host you want to permit or deny. So specifically, if you have a particular host that you want to permit or deny, you can use the command access, list ACL number permit or deny host simply IP address, nothing else. This is if you have to permit or deny a specific, address. That's IP host IP address. ACL number, permit, deny. And these are the two commands that you need to use. It's not responding. So this is just helping you to create an access list. Now, when you create an access list, second step is you need to apply it to an interface, which you want to allow or you want to deny, or you want to permit that or you want to deny that. Wait, it's hanging now. Oh, it's not working. Wait a sec. will go on. So we are dealing with the configuration. As I've told you, of the steps, first is how can we create ACLs. We're talking about standard ACLs, okay? How can we create standard ACLs, and how can we apply them on interfaces? So that's the topic, okay? All right, let's go directly to the topology. So interface, sorry, I'm gonna go and open Cisco Packet Tracer. And we have 3 routers, 1, 2, and 3, okay? And it's STAND. Are you here?
Yes.
Standard, please be here. Standard access lists, 3 routers, 3 switches, and 3 servers on each switch. This is the topology configuration, or this is the devices, or these are the devices that we have to use. So simply we're going to add 1 switch here, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to add some servers here, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. Next thing is cabling. You can just save your time by just, adding cabling to one particular subnet, and then you can join others in a very simple way. Copy and paste. By using copy and paste, this is 1, this is 2, then add the necessary ports to all the routers, which is already discussed. Turn off the router first and add your 2T ports, or you can say serial ports. Okay, so then serial 0/2 to 0/2/1 from this particular, what happened? We're going to use 0/1/0 to 0/111 colas. So these are the, this is the diagram for, this is the lab setup that we have to go through. And this is where we have to implement ACL. So we have 3 routers, 3 switches, 6 workstations, and 3 servers connected to. Oh, this is no. Wait. You can consider them as, computers. Wait a sec. We have to implement this. Wait. Sorry. These are basically computers where we have to allow and deny the access. So this is PC1, this is 2, this is 3, or you can consider only 2 PCs or 1 PC also. I'll let it be 3 for me. So these are 6 workstations, and we have 3 servers. Yep, now it's correct. So next thing is to give the IP addresses to them. So let's go here, and this network is 172.16.0.0/16. All right, and then first one will be 0.1 here. Sorry, not 09.1. So 0.1/16. And this network over here will be 172.18.0.0/16. Okay. And here it will be 0.1 again. We'll check, and here I'm going to take it as 172. It's a classful IP addressing 20.0.1/16. Okay, and here it's going to be 0.1 again. All right, and then here I'm going to choose it as 172.